film begins in a remote Canadian forest where a woman lives alone with her twin sons, Samuel and Nolan, along with their dog, Coda. They occupy a cabin far from any other people. Known to the boys as Mama, she has instilled in them a deep fear of venturing beyond their cabin's boundary. According to her, a dark and dangerous evil has consumed the outside world, making it unsafe. She claims this evil already took their father and grandparents, and that to stay safe, the boys must always remain tethered to the house by ropes to avoid crossing into the dangerous unknown. Mama experiences the evil as a vision of her own mother, but with a snake-like tongue. However, the boys have never witnessed it themselves. While out gathering food, which mostly consists of small animals and pieces of bark, Nolan notices an egg just out of reach and asks Sam to help him get it. Believing he overhears him say that their mother favors him, Nolan steps on his rope in anger, causing him to fall and injure his foot. In distress, he blows his whistle to signal Mama, who rushes over to shield them. The evil briefly appears as their grandmother, but ultimately leaves them unharmed. Back at the cabin, Mama treats Sam's injured foot and scolds Nolan for his actions. She has them both place their hands on the wooden floor and recite a mantra to protect them from the evil. Later, he explains what he thought he heard, though Sam insists he said no such thing. At dinner, Mama tells her sons a chilling story about how the evil deceives people. She recalls a time when she saw what appeared to be a young girl stuck in a gopher hole, screaming for help. Though the cries sounded real, Mama felt certain it was a trap set by the evil to lure her in. She forced herself to ignore the girl, watching as the figure seemed to decay and vanish over time. She warns her sons that checking would have been exactly what the evil wanted, and that it uses such tricks to prey on people's kindness and curiosity. That night, the evil appears before Mama, this time in the form of the boy's father, whom they called Papa. Speaking softly and calling her June, he urges her to finally tell the boys the truth about the evil's origins. He warns her that if she doesn't confess, the evil will force her to turn against her own sons. Seeking comfort and a sense of normalcy, Mama gathers her boys around the fire, putting on an old record to share a rare moment of joy. As the music plays, they dance together, bathed in the warmth of the firelight, briefly escaping the fear that surrounds them. The family heads out for food, but soon Nolan becomes separated from the others, overwhelmed by fear. As he stumbles through the woods, he realizes he's no longer connected to the rope, and in that moment of vulnerability, the evil claims him. But it's all a nightmare. Nolan wakes up, disoriented, standing outside without the safety of the rope. Terrified, Mama rushes to him, pulls him back inside, and locks him in the cellar beneath the floorboards. She tells him he must stay there to cleanse the darkness she believes has taken hold of him. She heads into the woods to hunt for food, but while she's out, the evil presents her with a disturbing vision: Nolan's face being pecked apart by a crow. As winter arrives and their food stores run dangerously low, Mama brings up the grim possibility of eating their pet to survive. Sam, though reluctant, agrees to follow her suggestion, but Nolan is adamant in his refusal, anger flooding him as he tells them he hates them for even considering such a choice. She takes Coda outside, crossbow in hand, preparing to kill the dog, but when the moment comes, she finds herself unable to do it. In defiance, Nolan cuts his rope and locks Mama in the shed, determined to prove there is no evil, since it has not affected him. As she pleads for Nolan to let her out, the evil manifests before her, and she confesses that she hasn't been fully honest about how it came into their lives. In a haunting vision, Mama sees her mother taunting her, reminding her that she had to kill her husband and parents to stop the evil from spreading. But now, the evil has returned for her. Overcome with terror and guilt, she takes her own life in a final, desperate attempt to escape its hold. Sam rushes into the shed, horrified, and falls to his knees, weeping over his mother's lifeless body. With her gone, the boy's food supply quickly dwindles, and Sam's condition worsens. Weak and sick, he grows more desperate. Nolan, determined to find help, ties their ropes together and heads into the forest. After a long journey, he finally reaches a road and calls out for assistance. Soon a hitchhiker named Cole arrives, responding to his call. He offers him food and they sit, waiting for Sam. But when he emerges with a crossbow, Cole panics and tries to leave. In a moment of fear, he shoots an arrow through him, and Cole stumbles off, fatally wounded. Nolan chases after him, finding him bleeding out near a tree, still trying to dial for help. Nolan takes his bag, which contains food, and returns to the cabin. He gives the food to Sam, who, though furious with Nolan for breaking the rules, is too weak to argue. Reluctantly, Sam eats, waits, and as he does, his strength begins to return. He steps outside, his mind clouded with grief and confusion, hoping for a sign of his mother. As he approaches the shed, he thinks he sees her, but instead he is confronted by her rotting corpse, a chilling reminder that she is truly gone, and the evil still looms. His heart races as he grapples with the sight, trying to make sense of the horror around him. Just then, a young girl appears from behind him, claiming to be Cole's daughter. She says she's been waiting for her father to return. Sam, still shaken, tries to deny any connection to Cole, but the girl recognizes the flashlight in his hand, which once belonged to her father. This moment marks the first sign of Sam's unraveling. He wants to reject the truth, but the girl's recognition forces him to confront it. As he tries to explain himself, the girl suddenly runs into the woods. Driven by fear and desperation, he chases after her. But in his panic, his rope gets tangled in the trees, trapping him and further isolating him from safety. The trees, much like the ropes, represent the constraints that bind him, both physically and emotionally. In the woods, Sam's pursuit turns darker when the girl morphs into something far more sinister: the evil itself. She transforms into a grotesque spider creature, a monstrous form of deception and fear. This shift underscores the true nature of the evil, always capable of twisting innocent appearances into something terrifying. As the creature infects Sam, it symbolizes how deeply the evil has infiltrated their lives, now claiming its next victim. The transformation of the girl into the spider also reveals the deceptive nature of the evil, which lures and traps its prey in layers of false comfort before revealing its true horror. Nolan finds him, but his brother is now fully corrupted by the evil. Sam, no longer the person he once knew, antagonizes him, locking him in an upstairs room and setting the house on fire. From outside, Sam watches the flames consume everything, detached and cold. The fire serves as a powerful symbol of his complete surrender to the evil, allowing it to destroy what's left of their world. Nolan escapes the room only to be confronted by the evil, now taking the form of Mama. It mocks him, trying to prey on his grief and manipulate his love for her. This illusion is a cruel reminder of how the evil uses people's deepest emotions to control and corrupt them. Refusing to be taken, Nolan runs into the cellar, dragging the evil with him. Trapped in the dark, he clings to his love for Mama, using it to fight the darkness. In response, the evil's true form is revealed: a scaly, lizard-like creature, a monstrous reflection of its true nature, primal and destructive. As the creature embraces Nolan, it vanishes for good, symbolizing his triumph over the evil. By holding on to his pure love for his mother, he defeats the corruption that had taken hold of them all, and the evil fades away. This final moment shows how love, even in its most painful form, can break the grip of darkness. Soon after, firefighters arrive at the burned remains of the house and find Nolan alive, hidden beneath the cellar. They also recover Sam, though he is unconscious. Coda, the dog, is seen running after the helicopter that is taking them away, a symbol of the last connection to their former life. Nearby, a Polaroid photo taken by Sam reveals a chilling image: the evil's hand resting on his shoulder, a lingering sign of its influence. As they are flown to safety, Nolan tells Sam that they are finally free, a moment of relief after everything they've endured. However, he, still caught in the grip of the evil's twisted hold, quietly mutters, "She loves me more." His words hint that despite their escape, the darkness remains inside him, a reminder that the evil's psychological and emotional grip might never let go.